The modern price tag was invented by John Wanamaker of Philadelphia, a devout Presbyterian who believed that if we were equal before God, we ought to be equal before price. And so from the very beginning, the price tag was infused with a sense of fairness and equality. Yet in America today, a fair price, let alone a sweet deal, is harder and harder to come by. In the age of corporate concentration and high-powered algorithms, pricing is in the midst of a troubling transformation, and the price tag as we know it may become a relic of the past. Rideshare apps like Uber have reportedly charged users higher prices if their phone battery was lower. Insurance companies fly drones above our property in search of signs of clutter, and car companies install software that reports our driving behavior to insurance companies, who use the data to hike our rates. Amazon reportedly changes prices millions of times per day, while running secret price hiking experiments like Project Nessie that reaped $1 billion in revenue. Frustratingly, food delivery apps like Uber Eats show us one menu price up front, only to tack on mysterious junk fees right at checkout. In a practice known as shrinkflation, companies discreetly reduce the size or volume of common household items, everything from jars of peanut butter to bars of soap, to charge consumers more for less. All of these tactics converge on a single goal: find out the maximum price that individual consumers are willing to pay. In competitive markets, companies often have to innovate, outwork the competition, and improve products and services in order to keep customers happy. But a perfect storm in our economy made it much easier for companies to simply price their way to record profits. First, companies have gotten bigger. About 3/4 of domestic industries have become more concentrated and are dominated by fewer players than they were 20 years ago. This grants the remaining large firms the freedom to hike prices without fear of being undercut by the competition. Second, pricing has gone high-tech. Technological advances such as cloud computing, AI, and surveillance targeting have enabled companies to collect reams of personal information on consumers and change prices in under a nanosecond. These technologies help companies build profiles of individual customers that include things like our age, marital status, estimated salary, ethnicity, the magazines we read, and even the type of topics we discuss online. Finally, market power and technological advances came together in the shadow of inflation, giving companies the cover to roll out pricing strategies once thought to be too risky, precisely because consumers dislike them. But with prices rising everywhere, customers couldn't distinguish which hikes were due to rising costs and which were truly excessive. As a Barclays executive told Bloomberg in 2022, quote, "The longer inflation lasts and the more widespread it is, the more air cover it gives companies to raise prices," unquote. The complex algorithms entrusted with setting prices to maximize revenues have neither a conscience nor legal training, which is why algorithmic pricing can be both discriminatory and collusive. But we don't have to accept the end of a fair price as inevitable. We must continue to enforce current laws that outlaw collusion and unfair and deceptive practices, while also recognizing that algorithms can fix prices just as well as human agents can. But new laws are also necessary. The Price Gouging Prevention Act, introduced in this chamber, would enable the Federal Trade Commission to enforce a federal anti-price gouging statute. Likewise, the Shrinkflation Prevention Act would classify shrinkflation as a deceptive practice and empower the FTC to take civil action on behalf of consumers. We must also continue to eliminate junk fees and regulate complex pricing structures that push hidden fees on consumers. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's late fees rule demonstrates that policymakers can and must protect consumers from predatory fees. By capping late fees at $8, the CFPB will save American families more than $10 billion annually. Finally, we can't allow companies to harvest our data and use it to price discriminate against us. Protecting data privacy, including transactions data, is essential to confronting this new pricing regime and ensuring companies cannot surveil consumers while pushing arbitrary price hikes. There's no doubt we have the tools to restore a fair price in America. We just have to use them.